This is our first round playoff recap. Some Probably the best game was the Alabama Oklahoma game, no doubt. Then followed by Miami and Texas A&M, which was I wouldn't call that an offensive juggernaut. 10 to was it ended up being 10-3, I think was the final score of that one. Neither team could get anything going offensively, and not a ended up being a thriller because Texas A&M ended up driving down to the 5, and then he threw that pick, and that was it. And the turnover
Yeah.
still Texas A&M.
Yeah, would they have 7, 6?
Did they have? No, I don't think they had that many. Did they?
I thought so. I don't know. I just kept bouncing back and forth, but yeah,
Hmm.
that was a tough one to watch. It was a good fun game to watch, but man, I wanted Texas A&M to win.
Yeah, I kind of did too. So that Texas A&M battered battered football team syndrome is kicking in again. Have one loss
Yeah,
during the regular season to their rival, and then go out in the first round at home.
yep.
I mean,
2 loss team. They're gonna be a 3 loss team winning that championship.
it's possible. Um,
Oh, crazy times, man. End times. It's in the Bible. Jedediah 12. Thou who deserve it shall not receive it.
well, I think one of the things before we get into the games too much, well, we have to get into a couple of them in order to make this point. They're going to have to revamp how they're doing this again. I think they can
Yep.
still go to a 16-team playoff for next year. They have to January the 14th or 15th or something like that to make that decision, which they're probably going to do. Um, Ultimately, they're probably going to try to expand it to 24 teams, which I think is nuts.
The whole top 25 is going to get in.
Well, and the thing is, let's say you go, if you can't get into the top 12, just ranked top 12, do you really think you have a shot at winning the national championship? Um,
Yeah. No 25 ranked 25 TCU is going to be the number one Ohio State.
no, no. And I think when you look at it, the teams that got sort of left out were Notre Dame, of course, which Notre Dame has made so many people mad now. It actually feels good that they got left out. But you're sitting there with Vanderbilt, and who no doubt would have given Oregon or Ole Miss.
Hmm.
Uh, Vanderbilt could have won either of those games.
Yeah.
Um, and whereas Tulane had no chance against anybody in the college, James Madison even less so. Um, so I didn't watch either one of those games. I just kept up with, it was 14. I think Ole Miss scored in like 2 plays or 3 plays, and it was
Mm.
14-0 by the end of the first quarter, something
And
like
yeah,
that.
and that's what we were talking about earlier. I just didn't watch them. I mean, I like watching Ole Miss games, but it's like they're playing Tulane, and I'm not going to watch who was playing Jimmy Matty Oregon.
Oregon.
Like I like watching Oregon because it's fast paced, but I'm not gonna. I found other stuff to do. I knew they were going to win. There was no chance of a
Yeah,
close game. I
yeah, I
saw
did.
Jimmy Matty put 34 points up, but it's kind of like did
It was
Oregon
over
dial
by
it
then.
back? Who was in?
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like I said earlier in the week, they were trying to make it seem competitive for these other teams like Jimmy Matty and Tulane and TCU, stuff like that.
well,
But it's just not.
I want the influence of our show is starting to really become visible on ESPN because I've heard two ESPN commentators now, Joe Klatt being one of them, mention the same thing I mentioned when it became the possibility that you were going to have Jimmy Madison and Tulane in, is the fact they need their own tournament. They need like a NIL, not NIL, I can't remember the name of it, NIT tournament
Yeah.
for these smaller schools. And he made even a better point than I was making about that, and that is this: how fair is it for James Madison or Tulane to win their conference championship and to just go get shellacked in a bowl game that they have no business being in? I mean, it's like, come on, man, that's not fair to the players. That's not fair to the school.
Yeah.
It's not fair to the sport. You're not helping college football,
Yeah.
by letting those two teams play. Look. I know it's a great opportunity for those guys to be, you know, nowadays the biggest benefit of them playing is maybe to get picked up in the transfer portal. When Oregon sees, oh wow, James Madison's got a receiver that we can't hardly cover, we need to go get him.
Yeah.
Um, or
Yeah.
same
It's
thing
like
with
a
Tulane. Ole Miss playing Tulane says, man, they got a good running back and two offensive linemen we could really use. Let's go get them. And they're going to pillage these teams. Is what
yeah.
they're going to do. Um, and so the non-power four conferences are going to be like farm teams with power four. I mean, that's what they're going to be.
Yeah.
That's what they already are.
No,
And
it's kind
so,
of like having a like in high school you have the All American game, and in college you have the East versus or something versus Texas bowl, you
mhm,
know, something crazy like that, and then people start getting cherry picked. I think that's what it's like you said. I agree with you. That's what it's going to be. Oh man, look at that 6'5" receiver running a 4.3 for Jimmy Matty, and we can't guard him. I bet he'd come here for 700 grand.
sure would.
You
And
know, I mean that's
and
all
and,
Jimmy Matty's budget.
and it's like on top of that, the kids' NFL prospects go up through the roof because
Yeah.
he's playing in front of a national audience every single Saturday. Um,
Yeah,
so
I I agree with you. I think for them to get shellacked in the first round, and everyone knew there's no speech the coach can give that's gonna
no,
make someone 4/10 of a second faster or squat another 200 pounds and be on the same level as these other people.
right,
Um, I feel like if they don't do what you were saying, maybe like have like play-in games or something.
well,
The bottom two
play
teams.
this.
Like what if
Yeah,
Jimmy Matty, Vanderbilt, and then Tulane versus Notre Dame, and then if they beat them, okay, you
sure,
know, then put them in the playoffs.
yeah,
If
yeah.
not,
But
put Notre Dame and Vanderbilt in the playoffs. You
here's
know,
the thing, because those teams are in a conference. I can't remember what Tulane's conference was. I think is it the All American Conference or the
yeah,
and so hold on a second. So they
yeah,
have to play a certain amount of conference games. So that means the only way Tulane can or James Madison can make a legitimate argument that they belong in the playoffs is they're going to every team that's their non-conference has to be a Power Four team, and it can't be Purdue, all right? It can't be Kentucky.
yeah,
It's got to be Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, and even though Florida's not that great, they're loaded with talent. Alabama, Texas. These are teams they're going to have to play. And now they're going to play them. They're going to have to win one of them.
at
They're
least
not
one
going
out
to.
of four.
Yes.
At least one out of
And
four. And they
and
can't
it's
get
like
blown out by the other three, 65-3.
no, no.
They got to be within at least 15 points or so.
Yep. And so all right, what I'm trying to look at here with my ESPN app, of course, not my app, but the website's being weird again. Because it's like, all right, who you think that Texas would have given or Vanderbilt would have went in there and done better a Oregon team or even an Ole Miss team? I would love to
You
have seen
are
Ole Miss and
like
Vanderbilt.
freezing and skipping.
Yeah, I shouldn't be now because I finally got the website pulled up. Stop it.
Your volume's kind of weird. Like you're crackly when you talk.
Really?
Are you using your headphones?
No. It should be the. Well, I don't know. It was set on the webcam, but let me find out about that. It is. It is the headphones. Hold on. that any better?
Yes.
Okay. Um, all right, so it's like crap. It's like this. All right, let's look at when you get down to number 10, 11. All right, at number 10 is Miami. Now, these are the two teams. If you went with the last playoff ranking and you just took the top 12, the last two
Yeah.
teams is Notre Dame and BYU. Okay, so Texas and Vanderbilt wouldn't have got it anyway because those two teams are ranked ahead of them. I personally think Vanderbilt would beat BYU. All right. And then you've got Utah, USC, Arizona, Michigan, Virginia. Then you have Tulane at number 20, and then you got to go all the way down to 24 to get James Madison, then North Texas. So, and it's like people would have pitched a fit if you would have put like Utah or USC or um, Arizona in the playoffs because it's like, well, yeah, because you were skipping over four teams that are better than them, but yet it's okay to put James Madison and Tulane in there.
Mm.
And the thing about it is, it's like somebody was saying, there's nothing you can do about that because that is the system they've set up. So those
Yeah.
people have to go into a room and change the system again. They already changed it. They said, well, from now on, a conference champion doesn't get a bye. It's the top four teams get a bye. And I like that better. I think
Yeah.
that's fair. If that's not what you're going to do, then the rankings don't matter. What's the
Mm.
point of getting in the top four if I don't get a bye? And you get the benefit. Well, no, I was going to say home field advantage, but you don't because that's just the first round. Um, and until and here's the funny thing: last year, no one who had a home field advantage lost. This year, both home field advantages they both lost. So
Yeah.
it didn't
Yep.
it didn't do any good. All right, well, let's talk about. I've grabbed enough about the playoff system.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Common
talk.
theme.
Yeah, and next year, I can tell you right now, they're going to expand to 16. Now, if they do that,
Oh,
all right,
hold
if
on.
they expand to 16 and they don't include and it's just the top 16 plus Power Four conference champions, see, I think that's legitimate. But here's the thing if that's true too, Duke should have got in.
Now I was gonna say you beat me to it.
Yeah,
Duke should
Duke
have
would
been
have
in
got
there
in.
at number 16.
And I got news for you Duke would have beat James Madison. I
Yeah,
think it bit.
absolutely.
I don't know about Tulane, but they would have beat James Madison. Um, um, what they should have had just Tulane and James Madison play each other, and one of them
Yeah.
could get in.
And let them have a first round bye.
And that no, they play each other in to get into the playoffs itself,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you play that game on the same day you have Army Navy because that's the only game it's on, um, which nobody watches. All right, so yeah, so if you had 16, this is who you would have this year. You would have also included Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, Vanderbilt, Utah, and USC would have all made the playoffs.
And that's not a bad group of teams.
No,
You
now
know,
who
this
who
they're
would who would
definitely
have
above
been
average.
who would have been left out? It would have been Arizona, Michigan, Virginia, Tulane, Houston, Georgia Tech, Iowa, James Madison,
Good.
North Texas.
Bye,
So
Michigan.
I mean, when you get down to the bottom 16, I mean, anybody 17 down does not deserve to get in.
Yeah, you
But
can't
they're
go
going
to
to,
25 or 24.
no, and they're going to gripe about that 16th spot. That's all there is. Is it USC? Is it Arizona? Because both of them were 9-3.
Yeah.
Um, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, nine. Well, matter of fact, USC, Arizona, and Michigan, all three of those were 9-3. And
Hmm.
Virginia can make the case that they should be 16th because they're 10-3. So it's like you're never going to solve this problem, no matter
No.
how many teams you include. Um, all right.
Well, and that's the problem with the old BCS system. The computer
Hmm.
that did everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that year that Auburn went undefeated but didn't get into the national championship.
Right.
Stuff
Right.
like that. There's always going to be flaws because there's too many human error, and obviously computers can't do it. And that's the whole reason that Vegas has betting odds because you don't know. No one can predict the outcome of every game.
Not every game for sure. I tell you what, the most certain game the most certain national championship we played in under Saban that everybody and their brother knew they were going to win was the one against Notre Dame. Um, they knew it from the get go. Everybody knew it. Media tried to play it out like, oh, well, their front, they never talked about Notre Dame's offense. They always talked about their defense. And it's like, you
Yeah.
can't, that's not going to be enough. And, um, and be honest with you, the Georgia Alabama SEC championship that year was really the national championship. And this is why, because if Georgia wins, they go play Notre Dame, and the same result would have happened.
Yeah.
Georgia would have beat them as well. Okay. Uh,
Wait,
well,
do we
let's
have our
talk.
pick numbers?
Oh man, that's the one thing I don't have pulled up. Hold on a second. I thought I put it on my desktop here. Hold on. Yeah, I know I had all day to prepare. I'm terrible. I'm trying
Because Michael would have picked Oklahoma.
if he went with if he went with the favored team, wasn't Oklahoma favored by a point and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't on the show.
So that's two times we've been picked as an underdog this year. Once was the first game against Georgia, and the other one was this third one. We were both times we played Georgia, we were the underdog, I think, and then this game we were the underdog.
Uh-huh.
Um,
So he picked Texas A&M and Oklahoma.
yeah, did I pick? I think I picked Texas A&M because they were playing at home, and I thought Miami hadn't looked that great, and I overestimated. Well, when they lost to Texas, I made this point. I said that Texas A&M had not played the upper tier of the SEC this year. They didn't play Georgia, they didn't play Alabama, they didn't play Ole Miss. They managed to get through the season without having to play those teams. And the only you would call upper echelon, though they didn't look great this year, was Texas, and they lost to Texas. All right, yeah, I didn't do. I'm 50%, and you, on the other hand, were 75%. You picked Oklahoma. We all
But
picked.
I picked Miami.
Yep, you picked Miami. Um, so how's that going to affect the total? Don't help me. I can tell you that right now. Let's see. So I'm up to 156. We didn't pick any bowls. You got three, so that makes you at 166, and that would put Michael. Was Texas A&M was favored in that game, right?
Let me see. Texas A&M.
They were favored in the game against Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so he would have had to pick them. He'd have picked Oregon and Ole Miss for sure, and he would he would have picked Alabama.
Too late. Doesn't matter what he would have picked. He
So he
picked
went
Oklahoma.
50-50. He went 50-50 as well. So that puts you, let's see, it puts him at 164. So now you're 2 points ahead of him. And you are 10 points ahead of me. There ain't enough football games left for me to get it.
Not unless we start picking. Not unless we start picking toilet bowls. But we're sticking to the playoffs.
We're sticking to the playoffs. I didn't want to go do all that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You look through it all. My boys, Kennesaw State, my boys already lost their bowl game. They got destroyed.
The Kennesaw State boys.
They got destroyed, dude. I think they played Western Michigan or something like that. Alabama did something I said they could not do. I said this during the game. I said this while we were doing our show. I said if Alabama finds itself in a 14-point hole, anything more than that, they can't come back from. They don't have the offensive firepower to do it. And when they got down 10, I was thinking, I think we're done. And then when they scored 17, I mean, they literally had more points than we had offense. And at that point, and we ran like 25 less plays than they did at the end of the game. Ooh. 25 less plays. I think it's right around the right number. Yeah. And Ty Simpson looked horrible for pretty much 2.5 quarters of the game. He had the great throw to Brooks. Brooks has just come out of nowhere. True freshman. He ended up having 79 yards of receiving and 2 touchdowns, one on a critical 4th and 2, where the man
Yeah.
broke 3 tackles and did a pirouette into the end zone. That effort, I think, sparked us. That was the
Yeah.
most effort I've seen
When he did that
from
like little
anybody in a
horizontal
while.
spin thing,
Yeah,
it's like
and
flat to the ground.
it's
Yeah,
just fun.
that's cool.
And then he had that great catch. Was an okay throw, but it was a great catch by him. Turned around, caught it, and kept his foot back, and it was really just phenomenal. Um, Simpson ended up going 18 of 29 for 232 and 2 touchdowns. He had a QBR of 80.4. Uh, Mateer, 26 of 41 um, for 307 yards and 2 touchdowns, plus that pick six was costly for a
Yeah.
QB rating of 73.5. So, Mateer did what he normally. Now, here's the thing: they started finding holes in the zone, and what worries me, especially the first half of the game, that dude could have baked a cake, made a sandwich, read a book.
Oh,
He had so much time to throw the ball.
so
There was
much.
no pressure. But by the time they got to the second quarter, about midway through, Womack started disguising things and he confused him. That's why he threw that pick six.
Yeah.
He thought that receiver was supposed to stop. I can tell you right now, he thought that receiver was going to stop, and because he just turned, looked, and threw to the guy in the white. The receiver was 6 yards down the field,
Mm.
and I mean, threw it right to him. Beautiful pass, just to the wrong color jersey. Rushing yards, still a problem. Alabama
Whew.
had 28 yards rushing. Now, Hill had 40, 44, something like that, but the Simpson sacks negates a lot of our yards. But Oklahoma only had 55 yards. Alabama had 5 sacks during that game. And I'm pretty sure most of them occurred in the second half. It's like you just flip the switch, and all of a sudden, Alabama, who was stinking up the first half, I mean, we had 89 yards of total offense and 17 points. Um, and so it was so weird because it was like the thing that happened to us against Bryant Denny happened to Oklahoma at in Norman. I don't know the name of their stadium, but
Oh yeah.
um, it was just weird to watch it. And they were making all the mistakes. We didn't have any turnovers. We had very few penalties during the game. I do want to say this about one penalty in particular, and that's when it's I think it's 3rd and long for Oklahoma. They're trying to get back in the game. It's fourth quarter, I'm pretty sure, and that referee 40 yards down the field is he's tracking that receiver and that defensive back running down the field, right? He's in that big thick white stripe. That's his zone. I mean, it is. All right. Nobody's supposed to be in zone. But he runs into 2 people on our sideline and then throws a flag for interference. And it's like,
Mm.
and I'll tell you this, in I don't know how many years, decades of watching football, I have never seen that thrown. I have heard warnings, a sideline warning. This wasn't even a sideline. It should have been a sideline warning.
Yeah.
And yet you're going to throw that flag, give Oklahoma a first down now. And it's like, dude, you can't throw a flag like that in a game like this. Um, and the officiating was not great. I think one deep pass we had to I can't remember what his name was. We didn't have many deep passes. He caught it going out. He caught it in bounds, but our tackle jumped. He jumped the snap. But it was like a half a second. And when I saw him do it, I was like, he looked like he might have been a little early. And then Herb Street and Nessler came back to it, and they had the rules guy in the box that said, yeah, that probably should have been an offsides. He jumped a little early. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, and I will say this, Jeremy Bernard with that behind the helmet catch that put us down there on the 5 or the 4 yard
Yeah. He
line.
reached back and
What a
brought it back up.
catch!
That was good.
What kills me, you can't catch a ball while you're on your knees that hits you dead in the
Maybe he's
hands.
catching. Yeah.
Can't catch it unless they're doing flips of the air. Um, and of course, Ryan Williams proved how worthless he was again by catching a ball that hit him right in the hands. and he was up in the air. It would have been a crash landing, no doubt about it. But you're gonna crash anyway. You might as well catch the ball. Um, and that's the thing we can't have happening. One commentator said that he actually, I think it was Herb Street, said that Williams led the. I don't know if it was the Power Four or all the NCAA FBS schools in drops. Yeah, he leads them in drops. So
Get him off the
I,
team. You know,
well, we got guys coming up. You got Horton. He had one drop. Bernard had a drop. Um, I think the tight end had a drop. Cuevas didn't, but the other tight end I think had one. We got to stop dropping these balls. We want to get on Simpson a lot, and don't get me wrong, Simpson has a hard time reading blitzes. He got hit one time, twice, I think. No one even touched the guy,
yeah,
and he didn't see it. He didn't feel it. It's not, and like I said, he's not even get hit in the blind side. He should be able to see that guy coming out of his periphery, and
yeah. He's right-handed. And caved
he's
in
just
his
not seeing
neck.
it. He's like, I can't believe he didn't fumble. Sure, typically he has, and I'm sure Indiana's going to be preparing for that, trying to get that ball away from him. Um, so all in all, biggest comeback in playoff history. And
Was Alabama?
yeah, it's the biggest comeback in playoff history. Remember, playoffs will have been
As
around
far
like
as
11 years.
Alabama's history or just overall
No,
history?
overall, no one's come
Mm.
down. No one's come back from 17 points.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I didn't realize that either.
wow.
But for all intents and purposes, it looked like we were supposed to get run out of the building embarrassed.
I was about to say, I was like, oh no. And it's the only game I really wanted to watch, so I watched it.
I
So
got
what's
my
your,
I had my drawing pad out. I was like, I'm
yeah,
just gonna start drawing. I'll look up every now and
I'm
then to see
done,
us
you freaking bums.
go three and out. All right, so let's talk about a little bit about games coming up. Now it's going to get interesting. We're about to see it get real now. Even though the Arkansas Alabama game was a real game, and but every game now is going to be good.
But you
Um,
said Arkansas and Alabama? Did you mean Oklahoma?
Oklahoma, sorry, Oklahoma, and then
Okay.
Texas A&M, Miami. That was a big game that did not have. Um, I honestly
Yeah.
thought Texas A&M was going to win that by 10 points.
Yeah.
Their quarterback apparently is it's not it's not very good when it comes to good defenses. Um, hold on one second. Schedule. All right, so we got Oregon um, facing Texas Tech, um, and I don't know if I have to go with strength of schedule and the type of teams Texas Tech has seen. I'm going to go with Oregon.
I would I would agree. I think even though I know Texas Tech is in the SEC and they're no, not Texas Tech. It's Texas.
Neither one,
I'm talking about Texas A&M.
Texas,
Never
not
mind.
Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Oregon's going to outdo them by probably 10.
Yeah, I would say that too. I don't know what the spread is on it. Um, I don't know what the line is on it. I'm waiting on that ESPN website though. And now won't let me load it. Okay, well you're a piece of crap. So,
Yeah.
Michael's. I think Oregon's going to be favored in that game, so he'll go with that. The next game, of course, big game, Miami and Ohio State. I know you're going with Miami because you can't
Yep.
pick Ohio State.
And not will not.
I don't know. Both these teams have really good defenses.
I
Both
was
offenses are shaky. Um,
I was going to say I feel like Ohio State's a good overall team, but Miami's just got like a grit about them. I think
mhm,
Miami's got a lot of potential for explosive plays on offense. I mean, they can make a lot of good plays on offense at random times to keep them in the game.
mhm,
So I think Miami is going to squeak out maybe by a field goal.
mhm. Are they? You are you looking at the line for that game?
I'm
I
not.
can't I can't bring it
Yeah, it
up.
says
I'm pretty sure Ohio
minus
State's favored.
two. Yeah, Ohio State's favorite.
How
What was the
much?
first one we just talked about?
Oregon and Texas Tech.
Yeah, I picked Oregon in that.
Yeah. Who? What's you see the spread on that one?
Oregon's favored by a point and a half.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah,
Just gonna be even by game time then. It usually goes down as week goes
yeah,
on. What about what is the actual spread on the Ohio State game?
10.
Really? Double
Miami, Ohio State.
digits?
Ohio State's favored by 10.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, 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 wow. I mean, you just don't, I mean, you really just don't know. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I'm thinking 24-21, maybe
yeah,
27-24, something like that.
yeah.
Um,
I think it'll come down to a field goal. Whoever has the
I,
ball last to win.
and I think it's going to come down to who has the most turnovers.
Yeah,
It's going to come down to turnovers. Beck throws two interceptions, they're done. They're done. Ole Miss and Georgia. I'm going to say Georgia. I think they don't have Lane Kiffin, and people say, well, say what you want, you know.
yeah.
They lost
I'm
under
gonna go
Kiffin, but
Georgia.
the problem is Ole Miss could run in the same problem they had before, is that their defense is going to run out of gas.
Hmm.
Um, and
And
I think
Georgia
Michael,
doesn't run out of gas.
no, well they're too deep.
Yeah,
They're too deep across the board, and so that's been Ole Miss's problem forever. Today, their first 11 are pretty good, all right, but once you start subbing out the second man, it's a significant
yeah,
drop.
yeah.
And so in some positions, not all positions. So what's the spread on that game? Georgia's got to be favored by what? Three,
7.
seven, seven. Okay,
Yeah,
I think that'll probably be something. It could still be a close game. You can score
yeah,
on Georgia unless you're Alabama in the SEC championship. A lot of teams have scored on them that aren't as good as Ole Miss, and I think that Ole Miss will. The thing is, Ole Miss has got to come out and they've got to score early and a lot.
yeah,
They going into the fourth quarter, they need to have a 14 to 17 point lead.
yeah. If
Because
possible, they need to score
yeah,
14 to 21 in the first half.
yeah, yeah, and hold Georgia to no more than 10, or they can't leave the door open for them at
Yeah,
all. All right, so Alabama, Indiana. I think these two teams are evenly built. I think
Ah,
Alabama's got more talent. Quarterback wise, Mendoza, how well would he have done in the SEC conference? I mean, how well
I
would he
think
have
he was
done?
done well. He's a decent passer. He's freaking huge and fast. You know, I think he's accurate, but he's not a typical running quarterback like the SEC has.
Which is good.
Yeah, he's a pocket passer. He can run when he has to, but I don't see any drawn up plays for quarterback runs and stuff like you would in the SEC.
Aren't they favored by 6 or 7?
Indiana,
Yeah.
7.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to go with Alabama.
you
I
should.
think I think Alabama has just as much chance. This is a neutral site. It's not a home field advantage. I think if Alabama can continue what they did in the Oklahoma game, at least the second half of the Oklahoma game, I think you've got it. And you can't tell me Indiana's defense is as good as Oklahoma's. Ain't no way. Not their front seven.
Yeah,
And so if Alabama can develop, and here's the thing: what? How many teams? 6 or 7 of the teams that that Indiana played this year didn't have winning records. Uh,
yeah,
all of them in the Big Ten.
yeah,
So they didn't have winning records. Not a strong conference. The team they did beat, the two teams they did beat the top two teams. They beat Oregon and they beat Ohio State. Um, you
which
know, but that was not an offensive juggernaut. So that goes to show you that Indiana can struggle against a physical defense. Alabama will hit you, and if our defensive line can play like they did against Oklahoma, we could give him trouble.
Yeah.
We give him trouble. Now, the thing about it is, Mendoza doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
He'll throw it away before he takes a sack or, just throws it across the middle with one eye closed, hoping for the best. Um, he really doesn't do that. So um, I don't know I'm assuming we'll probably play zone with him, but if zone works, if you can get pressure, um,
Ooh, I don't know about zone with him.
you don't know. You
He,
think he'll pick it apart?
yeah, he's a very accurate, quick passer.
Well, I don't know
He
what kind
can
of
hit. I
receivers they
don't think
got.
he'd have a problem hitting a receiver in the transition of the pass off in the zone. I
We're
think
about to
he'll hit a
run out of
receiver
time too.
in the
Sorry,
middle. I thought we got 40 minutes.
we were down to 2.5.
Okay. Anyway, I think he will. He can hit a receiver transitioning between zones. As one defensive back leaves him for the other one to catch up or pass off, he can hit that window. I think you got to play man with him, and
Well,
may
I
the
think
best
yeah,
man win.
and I think too we're going to have to mix up the coverages to try to confuse him like they did Mateer.
Yeah.
Now Mateer is
So
nowhere near the quarterback Mendoza is.
so Michael's picking Texas Tech, Indiana, Georgia, and Ohio State.
Yep. Oh,
Sad.
did you pick Alabama or Indiana?
I pick Indiana.
Did you?
I
Okay.
pick Indiana because I've been riding the Indiana wagon since before they were
Yeah,
at the
you
top.
have. Michael has too, but
No.
he's not gonna pick against Bama.
Well,
Um,
he should have been here.
so
Should have been here.
now I'm gonna give him Alabama.
You
I'm not
son
gonna
of
do
a
that.
biscuit.
So he had to go with Ohio State, Georgia, and Oregon. But I'm gonna. So basically, you're the only odd man out.
Not now changing them. I'm changing it to Ohio State so that I won't lose to Michael. Because
No,
you
wait a
breaking
minute,
the
wait a minute, wait a
rules.
minute, wait a minute. No, you can still. Yeah, you're two different. You picked Indiana and you picked Miami. So it'll be in a wash. It'd be in, come out in the wash if Indiana wins, then that's a loss for us. If anyway, I think your picks are fine.
Yeah,
I
they
would
are.
part of me leans toward Indiana too, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, all right, well, that's all we got time for tonight, man.
I did my
Merry
sign off.
Christmas. How long is your sign off?
Sorry, it was a 6 minute sign off. Is that my Florida? Is that my Florida stocking in the back?
I don't know if it's your stuff. That's Denise's stocking.
Is it?
Denise,
Oh
that's your
yeah,
stocking, isn't it? Your Florida stocking? Oh, it's Bess.
screw
I
Beth.
got a there's an Alabama. No, Katie has an Alabama one, I think, but she's got it with her.
Oh, y'all don't hang my stocking up anymore. I see.
Well, you're not here,
Just throw me
so
out. Just throw me
my
out. Let me go get a
mine's a
good
dirty
job
old
with
one
a
over here on
family.
the side. Why is
Who?
this zoomed in so close to my face?
Because you got like this to the thing. You're like,